was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. I ran up all these bands, up and I made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. It ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. It ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. It ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. I done ran up.
All right. Here we go. We are here, and not a minute too soon. What's going on, guys? As you're coming in the room, as always, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button to boost us in the algorithm. You know, support the channel because it's free. We're trying to bring you some interesting conversations, some interesting clips to stimulate your mind, something to think about throughout the week. So if you're enjoying the conversations, if you're enjoying the content that we produce here on this channel, be sure to hit the thumbs up button to support us because it's free. Also, if you haven't done so already, be sure to smash the subscribe button for more content, more subjects, more topics, more conversations just like this. Dropping multiple videos every week. We go live. I'm chopping the videos up so you can get the short and condensed versions. So, you know, we're trying to build. We're building over here. So support the channel. Come on back for more by subscribing to the channel. With that being said, we got a lot of stuff to discuss tonight. As always, we got some clips. Of course, we're going to play some clips that have been going viral with this genocide going on against Palestine, the Palestinians in Gaza right now. This is a hot topic. We've got a presidential debate coming up tomorrow. So I'm sure that this is going to be one of the topics of conversations that they're going to have to address, because one thing about it, although you might see differences between the Republicans and the Democrats, you might see differences between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. One thing you will not see a difference in is the two parties' position on Israel. They have both been completely beholden and outright purchased by the Israeli lobbyists. I'm looking at you, APAT. The United States government has been completely hogtied and beholden to the Israeli, a foreign government. And hey, just saying that in the beginning of the live, you know this is going to get censored. So if you're into free speech, if you think I'm spitting some fire, if you think there's any truth to what I'm saying, be sure to support me. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and be sure to like the video, because they're going to censor this one. I'm already knowing. With that being said, hopefully you can catch this live before they block it. Hopefully you can see me speaking on this live, because this might be the only chance you get. All right. Now, recently, there's a channel called 2NJB, Two Nice Jewish Boys. And they were having a conversation talking about how much pleasure, how much joy the Israelis get watching the people of Gaza be slaughtered. And I'm going to play that clip. But first, before we get into that clip, I've got to start this off with the word. We got to break into the word first, because, you know, usually I keep my Bible in the News series. I usually hold the Bible in the News series on Saturdays, but I'm a new father. So I got a lot of responsibilities these days. I've been juggling, family life and my work, my job, my business. I've got a lot of balls in the air, a lot of juggling here. So I appreciate y'all being patient with me. But this is a Bible in the News event. This is a Bible in the News episode. So we're going to have to start off with the word. So let's check this out. This is coming from the book of Revelations. This is coming from the book of Revelations. And this is a scripture that I think has a lot of relevance today, especially as a Hebrew Israelite. Especially as a Hebrew Israelite, this is something that I think is important that the people know. Y'all check this out. This is coming from the book of Revelation, specifically chapter 3, and we're going to start it off at verse 6, all right, just for the sake of time. You can go back and read for yourself, but this is Revelations, King James Version, chapter 3. Revelations chapter 3, starting off at verse 6. It says that he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Right now, this is John on the island of Patmos writing to the churches, to the 7 churches. All right. Verse 7. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia, write, these things say he that he is holy, he that is true, he that has the key of David, he that opens and no man shuts, and shuts and no man's open. Verse 8. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For you have a little strength, and have kept my word, and have not denied my name. Verse 9, here's the important thing. Here's what I want to highlight. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan. What? Shots fired. I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not. What? Which say they are Jews and are not. What? Which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Because you have kept my word, kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Now this is talking about the mark of the beast. People are going to be tempted. The true Hebrew Israelites people, the true people, the God-fearing people all around the globe, regardless of religion, regardless of race. People all over the world will be tempted in the time that the book of Revelations prophesies, and this is something that I strongly believe in. I believe we're nearing that day, and 2020 was a dry run. What? But that might be a story for another day. But the day, let me tell it, the day is quickly approaching. The day is coming where the entire globe will be tested. They will be tempted to take the mark of the beast, because you tell me I cannot buy or sell unless I take this evil chip, this evil mark in my forehead or in my hand. What am I to do? How can I support my family? The entire world will be tempted, just as the entire world was tempted to take experimental medications in 2020 and 2021. The entire world will be tempted. But in the word, it says, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and know that I have loved thee, because you have kept the word of my patience. I will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which will come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Read on. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which you have, that no man takes your crown. Meaning, hold on to what you got, because people are going to be coming. When we have no options, the people choose not to take the mark of the beast. People are going to be coming. People are going to be knocking and kicking in doors. People are going to be stealing cars. Crime, civil war, global civil war will be taking place. So you better hold on to what you've got, because people will come to try to take your crown. So behold, he comes quickly. Hold fast to what you have, that no man takes your crown. Him that overcomes, him that overcomes the temptation to take the mark, will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, which is what? Which is New Jerusalem. New Jerusalem. New, not old Jerusalem, but New Jerusalem, which comes down out of heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name. He that has an ear, let him hear that what the Spirit says to the churches. And unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans, right? These things says the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. I know thy works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I would rather you be cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. You've been indifferent. You've been agnostic. You have not been trying your utmost to uphold the words of the Lord. You've been, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'll take the mark of the beast. I don't know. I'm lukewarm. All right. So I will spew you out because you're lukewarm. So then, because you are lukewarm, I will spew you out. Because you say, hey, I'm rich. I've got a lot of goods. I've increased with goods. I have many assets and have need of nothing. And know not that you are wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. So think about the people in America right now. People are like, listen, I'm getting money. I got a job. I got businesses. I've got property. I'm into real estate. I'm getting money. I'm good. It doesn't matter that these European Jewish people are slaughtering, making the true Israelites, the name of Judah look bad, putting schmut on the Judean jacket. The tribe of Judah's got a lot of schmut on our name right now, thanks to these European imposters. But again, that's a story for another day. But you see this. You see what's going on. You see what's going on in the world, but you're like, hey, I'm getting money, so I'm not going to speak out about it. I see what's going on with Israel lobbyists purchasing the U.S. government and slaughtering, genociding people in the name of us, the true Hebrew Israelites. But you say nothing about it? You're lukewarm? You're indifferent? Okay. All right. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that you may be rich, and white raiment, white clothes, that you may be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, meaning a balm, right? Put some Vaseline on those eyes, that you may see. As many as I love, that means trying to wake you up, basically. I'm trying to wake you up. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me. So let this message, let this live, if you're listening to me, read this word. Let this be an opportunity. This is God knocking. This is God trying to wake you up, saying, hey, listen to my voice. Fried Time Media is trying to wake you up, tell you to get back into the word, telling you to stay vigilant, be aware of the things that are soon to come. This is God trying to wake you up. You should listen. Message. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in and I'll eat with him, and he can eat with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also have overcome, and am set down with my Father in his throne. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word. Okay, now I'm going to get into some clips. We're going to get into, this is Bible in the news. So I have to start off with the Bible before we get into the news. So we're going to break into the news. But first, one more time before we close out on this chapter, I just want to hold this one more time. I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. All right. This is something I wanted to highlight before we get into the news. This is a Bible in the News segment. Now that we've addressed the Bible, may the Lord add the blessing to the reading of his word. Now, with that being said, we can get into some clips. Now, specifically, I wanted to show this. This is a clip that has recently gone viral from the channel named 2BJN, two nice Jewish boys, 2NJB, two nice Jewish boys. They're talking, having a podcast, and they're laughing, talking about how Israelis, the people who are living in modern day Israel, are happy and excited and joyful watching the slaughter and genocide of the Palestinian people. All right, they're happy about it. So I'm going to play this clip. But as you're watching, notice that we don't see a lot of, they have black Jewish people and they have white Jewish people. We know that there are Ethiopian Jews, for example, in Israel, but we don't see the Ethiopian Jews making videos like this. We don't see the black Hebrew Israelites rejoicing and celebrating about the slaughter of the Palestinians. The only place we see this type of devilish, evil, sadistic spirits, we only see this from the European Jewish people. All right, I want to say that before I get into this clip, because I don't want this. I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and I don't want this type of rhetoric being slandered upon all of Judah, the true tribes of Judah. It's the European Jewish people who feel this type of sadistic spirit. The black Hebrew Israelites, the Ethiopian Jews, we don't talk like this. All right, I just want to put that disclaimer out. Without any further ado, let's get into this clip. Check this out.
They went to a concert in Aircon Park. We had lots of fun, me and my girlfriend. Shalom Chanoch. We danced, and it was amazing. And you can't help but think, like, it's nice to know that you're dancing in a concert while hundreds of thousands of Gazans are,
homeless,
like sitting in a tent and eating.
Makes it even better.
Yeah.
More enjoyable concert. If only they put the
live video
footage of Gaza. But seriously, you guys, like that. That's what people don't understand. Look, like, I know that you guys might be appalled by this, some of the listeners, but seriously, this is how Israelis feel. And
they went to a concert in Aircon Park. We had lots of fun, me and my girlfriend. Shalom Chanoch. We danced.
So he's saying this is how the Jewish people feel. He's saying we were at a concert, we were singing, we were dancing, we were drinking, being merry, and it felt good to know that just a few kilometers away, there's people homeless, in tents, getting bombed. Illegally. Illegally. These murderers, these sadistic, heathenistic demons are happy, celebrating genocide. All right. And what's worse than them having this conversation openly, as if this is just normal small talk that we can just laugh, put it online. We don't have to worry about censorship. See, this video with me breaking this information down, this video that I'm making now that y'all are watching, this live, they're going to censor me for calling this video out. For playing y'all this video, they're going to censor me. But the video that I just played has gone mega viral. They're not censoring that channel, saying that they can't say that it's cool to go to concerts and celebrate the destruction of Gaza. They're not going to censor them, but they're going to censor me for calling that BS out. See? And what's worse than their little conversation is, you think that's bad, wait till I go to the apology. The apology is even worse, because they double down in the apology. We're going to break that down in a second. But first, I gotta give a shout out and salute to Brandon Sophia. Hey, yo, Brandon Sophia has been a long supporter of the channel. Shout out Brandon Sophia. It's always good to see you in the comments section, keeping me motivated. You've made a couple comments here, so I'm going to try to run through these before we get back into the video. And shout out to any new listeners, any new watchers, any new subscribers. Y'all know I respond and read all comments on my lives because I'm still a relatively small YouTuber, so I have the time, I have the patience to read all my comments. So any new subscribers, any new listeners, feel free to make a comment. I'll shout you out as well. So going into Brandon Sophia, he says Drake versus DJ Khaled go at it on the land of their forefathers. Should create new wave of hip hop in the years to come. Neither one of them are going to touch on this topic. You don't see DJ Khaled making no music talking about we the best, save Gaza. No, he stands on being the biggest Palestinian in hip hop, but he doesn't make any comments. DJ Khaled is not making any music about Gaza. Let me tell you that he's not trying to touch that because of the powers that run the industry. The powers, y'all know what I mean when I say the powers that run the hip hop industry, that took a billionaire status from Kanye West. That took billionaire status from Kanye West, told him, yeah, you got $1 billion, but you can't keep it in this bank. The people who have the power to do that, yeah, DJ Khaled doesn't want to cross them. DJ Khaled doesn't want to cross them. And Drake, the name of Drake knows that if he says something on this topic, after Kendrick Lamar already flamed him up for being not like us, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more. Can you imagine Drake speaking on this topic and the backlash that he would get? What, you trying to use our music genre, our culture to prop up this genocide? We're not for that. We're not for that. So no, they're both, DJ Khaled and Drake are going to stay silent on this. I would say as they should, but I can't even give them that out. But they're just going to stay silent in their own best financial interest. All right, back to Brandon Sophia. Are you teaching your children to fight? Oh yeah, for sure. Well, my son is only 4 months old. He'll be 4 months next week. So have I taught him to fight? No, I'm still trying to teach him to walk. I'm still trying to teach him to talk. So we'll get there, but it's on the agenda. It's on the to-do list. He will be taking combat classes. All right. There are lots of struggles awaiting many young people these days. That's true. So those troubles began, unfortunately, from their very own parents. Christ, I don't like to say Jesus, and that's a whole nother lie for another day. The letter J did not come into written language until I believe the 1600s. So his name wasn't Jesus. His name was Yahshua ben Yosef. I'll say Christ just for the audience, because I think I don't want to get too divisive or too deep in that rabbit hole. Christ says, pray for your enemies, but he never said pray for your parents' follies. That's interesting. Okay. I hope these words are acceptable to you. So far, I'm agreeing with you, Brandon. So far, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, that's a deep comment about Christ said pray for your enemies, but not necessarily your parents. They did say it's a commandment, honor your mother and your father, that the days on your life shall be long. But still, yeah, that's an interesting comment there. Yeah, so far, very acceptable, no problem there. Well, they are in the land and they call the shots. What you got? You're right. Hey, listen, what I have, I got a microphone. That's about it. They got the bombs, they got the land, they got the money, they got the network, they got the connections. I don't have none of that. All right. I'm doing what I can with what I got. I got a microphone and I got time today. I got time today. And if I don't have time, I'll make time. I don't know if y'all can hear it in the background. I got my 3-month-old son crying in the next room. My wife is over there tending to him. I could be over there spending time with my son, but reading him Dr. Seuss books. But no, what do I have? I have a microphone and I'm doing the best working with the tools that I have available. That's all I've got. All right. So yeah, they got the land, they call the shots. You're right, I can't agree with you. Ethiopian and those American Hebrew groups, like myself, in Israel did not seem to make a high priority for hostages to warning Pakistanians through. Do you mean Palestinians or Pakistan? Pakistanians. I'm not sure I understand that comment. But Ethiopian Hebrews in Israel, they're being mistreated, and we're going to break that down tonight too. The way that they're being treated, we're going to break that down too. So shout out to Brandon, Sophie. I appreciate your comments. I'll get back to your comments in a bit. But with that being said, I played the video of the quote unquote 2 nice Jewish boys. That's their channel. I played their comments of them celebrating at concerts the death and destruction of the Palestinian people. I played that clip, but let's get into their fake apology. And I call it a fake apology because they really doubled down. They doubled down on what they had to say. All right. So y'all check this out. This is their apology they've posted here. So this is coming from the 2 Nice Jewish Boys podcast. This is not a racist term that I'm using against them. That's really their name. All right. There's quite a bit of chatter going on about some comments made on the podcast recently. We want to properly address that. Notice, they don't say we want to apologize. They don't say we're sorry, things were taken out of context. I just played you the video. They just say we want to address it. They're not apologizing. Firstly, the video circulating was taken out of context. It was not. I just played you the video. It's not taken out of context. You're happy. You're celebrating. You said, here, before we get into it, just for people are coming late, so I'm going to play it one more time just so we can read it together. We're going to hear their comment and we'll read their apology all at the same time with no break. Check this out.
They went to a concert in Aircon Park. We had lots of fun, me and my girlfriend. Shalom Chanoch. We danced, and it was amazing. And you can't help but think, like, it's nice to know that you're dancing in a concert while hundreds of thousands of Gazans are,
homeless,
like sitting in a tent and eating.
Makes it even better.
Yeah,
more enjoyable concert. If only they put the
live video
footage of Gaza. Like, but seriously, you guys, like, that's what people don't understand. Look, like, I know that you guys might be appalled by this, some of the listeners, but seriously, this is how Israelis feel. And
there was another clip as well, and I'm going to play that in a bit, where he says, if there was a button, I would press it today. I would press it today. And I'm going to play that for you in a bit, all right? But let's check out this apology. It says, firstly, the video circulating was taken out of context. It was not. In the original recording, we made it very clear that we did not call for the genocide of the Palestinians. We were making a larger point about the fact that most Jewish Israelis do not care about the cost and civilian casualties on the Palestinian side, required in order to secure the Jewish homeland. Within that context, we entertained a hypothetical situation that would rid Israel of the imminent threat posed by our Palestinian enemies who overwhelmingly support Hamas and wish to kill us all, and would gladly go for another October 7th the moment they got their chance. Mind you, October 7th allegedly was allowed. It could have been prevented. Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu had plenty of forewarning. Egypt had warned them multiple times and plenty of time to stop it, but they allowed this attack, sort of a false flag attack, in order to get justification to go in and perpetrate this genocide. Just for further context for anyone not in the know. Obviously, that hypothetical button does not exist. When having to consider how to deal with the Palestinians in reality, things are more complex and nuanced. But that doesn't change the fact that when on the scale of our lives and safety, or the lives of our enemies, in this scenario, most Israelis do not care about the cost in civilian casualties in Gaza. So far, I don't think that what they're saying is false. I think it's wrong. Morally, I think that this is wrong, but I don't think it's false. I think that most of the European Jewish people in Israel do share this mentality that they do not care about the casualty ratio, the casualty reports of civilians on the Palestinian side. They do not care at all. In this scenario, most Israelis do not care about the cost in civilian casualties in Gaza, as long as the main objective is achieved, eliminating the threat for good. The only way you can eliminate the threat of Palestinians fighting for their land is by genociding. You got to kill them all, because you cannot kill an idea. You cannot kill an idea. Let me say that one more time. You cannot kill an idea. The idea that foreign invaders, people from the United States, Poland, Germany, Europe, Spain, can come to the Middle East, steal people's houses, kick them out, bulldoze their houses, bomb them, commit multiple Nakbas, ethnicize a people with no type of response, with no type of pushback. It's impossible. As long as there's a Palestinian alive, there will be a Palestinian resistance. It is what it is. You cannot carry out enough evil in order to turn it good. You cannot be safe. What does the word say? He that lives by the sword dies by the sword. You can't kill enough. You cannot kill enough people in order to ensure your safety. The more you kill, the more that karma starts to come back to you. The only way you can stop it is through peace, love, forgiveness. But by killing, you can't kill your way out of this. But that's what they're trying to do, which is resulting in genocide. They're trying to kill their way out of it. What everyone who's losing it, because mind you, this isn't an apology. This is them doubling down. What everyone who's losing it, we're losing it. If we don't support genocide, if we don't support mass civilian casualties, if we don't support innocent women and children, mind you, they say overwhelmingly support Hamas. You're talking about children? You're talking about 8, 9-year-olds? They overwhelmingly support Hamas? What do they know? Everyone who's losing it, not trying to watch these children be bombed and amputees walking around and living in tents, everyone who's losing it, who sees that this is a problem, seems to forget that less than a year ago, thousands of Palestinians invaded Israel and are aped, murdered, and burned alive countless women, children, babies, elderly, and kidnapped hundreds of hostages. I have not seen the videos of them burning alive babies or graping babies. Some of these things are allegedly. I got to say allegedly because I haven't seen it. I've seen the destruction that Israel is doing against Gaza, but I haven't seen the video. I saw the October 7th attack. Of course, that was a horrible terrorist attack. Granted, but I think it's a bit one-sided here. Their ultimate goal was to conquer large parts of Israel and kill everyone. It's just false. Gaza, the Palestinian people do not have the ability. They don't have the assets. They don't have the military backing to conquer a large part of Israel. They just don't have it. Their intention, the ultimate goal, was to kidnap a few of the Israelis, commit enough destruction, and provoke an attack. They knew that they could provoke Israel to committing a genocide, like what we're seeing now. And they knew that public opinion in Israel, and because we see massive protests occurring in Israel today, but we know that the public opinion in Israel and around the world would turn against Israel when we see their response. Very much like what we see in the 60s with the sit-ins, in the 1950s and 60s in the United States. Martin Luther King and his supporters were for non-violent protests, right? So they would go in and sit in racist white establishments and provoke them to respond. They know that the racist white people would respond violently, pouring hot coffee on them, attacking them, beating them, seeking dogs on them. And the cameras would show the treatment of the racist white people in America, and that would get public opinion onto the side of the foundational Black Americans. That was the goal in the 1950s and 1960s, to provoke the white racism to violence. That was the goal of October 7th. Similarly, not quite apples to apples, because October 7th they used violent means, but ultimately their goal was to provoke Israel into an unjust response, a disproportionate response. And they knew that that disproportionate response would turn public opinion against Israel. So in that way, the Palestinians are winning. Not the Palestinians, but Hamas. Hamas as a group is winning. Their tactic of provoking genocide from Israel and getting the global public opinion to turn against Israel, that was Hamas's goal, and Hamas has been largely successful in that goal. The only reason they failed, which I purport they have not, to do that was our brave soldiers, cops, and civilians who fought heroically and sacrificed their lives so that we can be here today. Now, we could break into the response of Israel on October 7th. See, after October 7th, Israel's been very, very responsive, disproportionately so. But on October 7th, I don't think they did such a good job of responding or preventing the attack. That might be a story for another day. We owe it to them to do everything, and we mean everything. Genocide, murder, slaughter. We see that the Israeli people Israeli soldiers have been found raping, assaulting their prisoners, their hostages. They've been sodomizing male hostages in Israel. Hey, do everything. We owe it to them to do everything. You can sodomize your enemies. You can murder children, burn babies. It's all good. Do everything. Thumbs up. So that this imminent threat from Gaza will never show its ugly face again. I guarantee you it will show its face again. Since the Gazans have proven time and time again that their support of Hamas is indisputable, it is obvious to any Israeli that the only way to guarantee our future and safety here is to remove this threat from our vicinity forever. Now, let's go over some data to support our claims. In a poll conducted, and what they're pointing out here as far as the Israeli, the Jewish perspective as far as not caring about the casualty accounts, I'm not saying they're lying when they bring these things up. I'm saying that this very well may be the perspective of a lot of foreign invaders, European invaders, colonizers living in Israel today. In a poll conducted by Mano Jiva amongst Jewish Israelis in January 2024, 87% of them said they are for complete annihilation of Hamas and continuation of the war until we can obtain complete control over Gaza. Hey, 87% of the people who were polled, hey, full steam ahead. More slaughter, more genocide. We're with you, Benjamin. Go do it. Number 2, in another poll by Mano Jiva, who's Israel's top pollster, by the way, this time from November 18th, 2023, 44% of the population were for Jewish people settling in Gaza, as opposed to 39% who were against. So they said, hey, when you're done slaughtering and genociding those people, we should be able to go take their homes. Forget them. If we don't have a problem murdering them, if we don't have a problem genociding them, we don't have a problem sodomizing our prisoners. We're going to riot and protest against the arrest of the officers and soldiers who sodomize and torture the prisoners. We might as well take their homes. Hey, we're already torturing them and burning their babies and bombing them. We might as well take their land. I mean, what, we're going to do all this and not take the homes? Come on, let's be realistic here. It's also worth noting, number 3, that many victims on October 7th share our sentiments. Now, this is something that they try to sneak in there because we've seen a lot of reports from the people who were kidnapped. A lot of the kidnapped Israelis who were later freed, they have been saying, hey, Israel was the one that we were afraid of. The terrorists were pretty humane to us. The terrorists, they kidnapped us. Yeah, it was horrible. But they fed us. They kept us relatively safe. They didn't sodomize us. It was you bombing us that we were afraid of. That's what the freed kidnapped people, the victims were saying. So now they're trying to spin that. They're trying to spin that and say, oh, it's worth noting that many, not all, many, which is more like a few, some of the victims of October 7th share our sentiments. This is a member of Kibbutz Be'eri saying, I will come back to Be'eri only after the very last Palestinian in Gaza is dead. And this is Mia Shim, who was held hostage by Hamas. She says, there are no innocent civilians in Gaza. They are all Hamas. So that he tries to name 2 people. Notice he doesn't say anything about the victims who were saying Israel was the ones that was causing the most destruction. The Hamas was relatively benign to them. He leaves that unmentioned. Got it. Number 5. Gazans have been polled again and again, and the vast majority of Gazans support Hamas and support October 7th. To conclude, the video clip circulating was taken out of context. The fact that most Israelis think that the threat posed from Gaza and Gazans must be rooted out by any means necessary. Notice they try to take Malcolm X's, they try to shroud themselves in the terminology of the vernacular that made popular by foundational Black Americans. They must be rooted out by any means necessary. It's beyond any doubt. No, it's definitely beyond doubt. People from Gaza, the Palestine, and all around the world who support Hamas are actively seeking to kill us and destroy the only Jewish, racist apartheid state. And if you want to kill us, we will rise and kill you first. We pray for our brave soldiers and wish for the complete annihilation, destruction, genocide, slaughter, death of the enemy, and the safe return of all the hostages. The 2 of those things cannot be accomplished simultaneously. That's an oxymoron. You will be unable to completely annihilate, slaughter, and genocide these people, but then safely have them return the hostage. What? What? Yeah, we're going to kill you all, but be sure to return the hostages safely. Yeah. So return the hostage. That's actually, and the reason I'm laughing is because that's actually the ceasefire deal that they're pushing now. Kamala Harris, she's on the campaign trail now, running for president, saying, "Hey, there's a ceasefire deal that would say we're going to call for a temporary ceasefire, a temporary ceasefire, to allow the Hamas to return all of the hostages, and then after we got all the hostages, then we can resume the annihilation, the genocide, the killing, the murder, the slaughter, yada, yada, yada." Yeah, but of course, give us the hostages first, because we want them safe, and then we can go on with the genocide, go back to the genocide, but give us the hostages first. What? What? What kind of negotiation is this? Okay, all right. But they're arguing good faith. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, so this is a statement made by 2 nice Jewish boys on the 2 Nice Jewish Boys podcast. All right. Okay, outstanding. So this is what's going on in the world. These European colonizers, man, hiding behind the Jewish faith, hiding behind Judaism. They, oh my goodness, this is the world. This is the world we're living in. This is the world we're living in. Okay, and hold on. Before I've got some more comments. I've got some more clips I want to play. But just to be clear, this is the clip where they're saying, yeah, if there was a button where we could just press and annihilate and genocide all of the Palestinians, whether they be innocent, whether they be part of Hamas or not, oh, I'd press it. I'd press it twice. I'd press it with my foot. I'd press it with my elbow. I'd jump up on the button. Let's check this out before I come back with some comments. Check this out.
They went to a concert in Aircon Park. We had lots of fun, me and my girlfriend. Shalom Chanoch. We danced, and it was amazing. And you can't help but think, like, it's nice to know
the same one.
that you're dancing in a concert while hundreds of thousands of Gazans are,
homeless,
like sitting in a tent and eating.
Makes it even better.
Yeah,
more enjoyable concert. If only they put the
live video
footage of Gaza. Like, but seriously, you guys, like, that's what people don't understand. Look, like, I know that you guys might be appalled by this, some of the listeners, but seriously, this is how Israelis
I wanted to play another clip. They've got another clip where where they were saying that they would press the button. I want to find that clip because I had it pulled up. Okay, all right, here's the longer video. Sorry about that, guys. Here it is. Check this out. I think this is it.
What we're doing in Gaza. Because in Gaza, maybe there's mass destruction, but there's not massive death.
Or deportation.
Anyway, so, when you sit on your high horse, and, I'm sure I don't mean to belittle our listeners. We love you guys. But if you're listening to our words and saying, how could they be advocating to, do massive bombing, indiscriminate bombing, how could they talk about killing children? We're not advocating to target children, but forgive us if we don't give a shit. If, everybody there dies. It's just the way we feel. It's just the way Israelis feel.
Yeah.
Because, and this is what that's what the Hulon attack did. I wrote to Sharon, my wife. I was like, it'll be you or me tomorrow, or Daniela or Itai, God forbid.
Yep.
And so I would, if you gave me a button to just erase Gaza, every single living being in Gaza would no longer be living tomorrow, I would press it in a second. That's just, I think most Israelis,
if that's the choice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, even if it's not like right now.
Urgent.
I would press it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the same with the territories.
I would press it right now.
Mm-hmm.
No choice. No, Sharon is safe at home. God willing, I don't know. I haven't spoken to her in like an hour.
No, I'm saying for the chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would press it right now. Give me that button and press it right now.
There you go.
And I think most Israelis would.
He said, even if we're safe, hey, my wife is safe at home. Even though we're all safe, it's not a pressure, them or me. No, forget a choice. Just give me the button. I don't care if we're all safe or not. I don't mind wiping out those dirty Palestinians, those dirty innocent goyim, those babies, women, children. Hey, give me the button.
Yeah. Most Jewish Israelis.
They wouldn't talk about it like I am.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't say I pressed it.
Yeah.
But they would.
They don't have balls of steel like you.
They would, but they would press it, right? Like if they were in a closet alone, they wouldn't even hesitate.
Mm-hmm.
Someone came to them and said, "No one will know. You press this, all the Palestinians are gone." You'd be like, "Fucking hey, is there another one?"
So there you go. And like I said, I read the apology. They're doubling down on it. That clip has gone viral. That clip has gone mega viral. There's no censorship. They're not scrubbing the internet. They're not ashamed of what they were saying. Yeah. If we had the opportunity, it's not even a choice, not even a them or us choice. Hey, we're safe at home, but still, even though we're safe at home, I'd still press the button. Get rid of them all. No hesitation. Laughing. It's hilarious to them. And like I said, you don't really see us. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I'm a Black American. You don't see us. You don't see us, the true Hebrew Israelites. You don't see us, the Ethiopian Jews who are in Israel today. You don't see Black folks who practice Judaism saying, oh yeah, we need more slaughter and genocide against the Palestinians. Notice you only see the European invaders, colonizers, who may or may not, because many of them, they're secular. Many of them are secular. So many of them aren't even practicing Judaism. But only the European invaders are the ones talking about we want to promote this genocide of Gaza. And while the European Jewish people are, and like I said, not all of them, because there are protests within Israel right now who are saying we need a ceasefire, we need to bring the hostages home. So I don't want to discredit, some of the more fair-minded folks. But as far as these evil, the demons, these devils, there is a significant portion of them that are just demonic and sadistic, that take joy, as he said in the other clip, that take joy. Hey, we're at a concert, we're safe, we're partying, we're dancing. And just knowing that a few kilometers away, there's Palestinians being destroyed and being bombed, it made us party that much harder. There are really sadistic people like that, and they're not hiding about it. They're not shamed about it. They're not being censored, but I will be censored. I guarantee you, if you're watching this live, I hope you subscribe and I hope you hit the thumbs up button, because this video, I guarantee you, is going to get shut down. I guarantee you it is. Now, before we get into, I've got some more clips I want to play for you guys. Be sure, if you're watching, if you made it this far, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Support us in the algorithm, guys. Support the channel, because it's free. It's free. And really, you're not going to find a lot of foundational Black Americans like myself talking about this issue. You're really not, because we've got a delineation movement here right now. We've got a reparations movement right now. We've got a lot of domestic issues that we're dealing with. And we've kind of, as foundational Black Americans, have decided, hey, we're just going to stay in depth. We're going to stay out of this one. But as a Hebrew Israelite, I can't leave this undressed. So before I've got some more clips. And this is really what they don't want to see. They don't want to see Black voices, foundational Black Americans like myself, speaking out about this, because they know that we've got a moral compass that is unparalleled. Foundational Black Americans have a moral compass and a history. You can check our track record. We've been on the right side of history for centuries now. And one thing they're coming out, they're trying to censor anyone who calls out. Think about what they did to Michael Jackson. Think about what they did to Kanye West. Think about what they did to Kyrie Irving. It took $1 billion from Kanye West. They got Kyrie Irving kicked out of New York. Right? Think about what they do to anyone who speaks out against the Israeli government. The synagogue of Satan, who say that they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Huh? Think about what they do to everyone who calls out the synagogue of Satan, who say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Yeah, we get censored. We get attacked. So a lot of us have just decided, hey, we're going to stay out of this one. Let them handle their problems by themselves. But I gotta be on record. I gotta speak out on this because it's messed up. Before we get into the next clip, I got 2 more clips I want to play for you guys. But first, I gotta read some of the comments here. Shout out and salute to Brandon Sophia, always supporting the channel, keeping the comment section active, staying active in the comment section. Y'all know I read all my comments, so I gotta give Brandon Sophia some time here. Brandon says, okay, your wife is very tolerant of you and your audience. Tell her we appreciate her very much. the time you share with us on here. I'll be sure to tell my wife that. Thank you, Brandon. I don't want to be accused of taking bonding time from your newborn and wife. Yeah, that's why, I used to go live about 6 days a week. I'm down to 4 days a week now. I usually do my Bible in the News segment. So this is a Bible in the News segment. I usually do my Bible in the News segments on Saturday, but just trying to juggle family time and things of that nature, I've had to cut back a little bit. But when I see issues like this, some things it's like, okay, babe, you're safe. You're in the house with me. My baby's here. I need to take some time and address this, because some people have never seen these comments. Some people have never heard this perspective. Some people, I need to be on record, because when my son grows up, Lord willing, he can go back and watch these videos. And he might say, hey, Dad, what were you doing in 2020? Hey, Dad, what were you doing in 2024 when World War III was getting started, when Israel was genociding the Palestinians and Donald Trump was promising to provoke World War III against Iran? What were you doing? And I can say, hey, son, I didn't have a military behind me. All I had was my mic, and I used it to the best of my ability. That's what I did. All right, I just want to be on the right side of history. And when my son grows up, he can go back and watch these videos and see I did my best. I did my best to speak on it, to stay alert, to say what's right and what's wrong. I did my best. So I want my son to see that when he grows up. So thank you. I really do. I salute you, and I appreciate your comments. The love and appreciation you're showing for me and my wife. I appreciate that. So Brandon Sophia goes on to say, this is the culture displayed in Israel when they are fighting a war. I assume if there was no fighting, they would invite you to a Sabbath dinner and talk about the love of Hashem. I would not be so sure. I wouldn't be so sure about that. There's a lot of, and we're going to break this down, the racism within the practitioners of Judaism. Because although I'm a Hebrew Israelite and there's a lot of Europeans practicing Judaism, there's a lot of racism. Think about how the Ethiopians in Israel are being treated today. There's a lot of racism within the Judaism, within the European Jewish culture. So even if there was no war, I'm not so sure. Because even, mind you, there would have been, let me say this. I'm glad you said that, Brandon. But let me be on the record to say this. Right now they say that one state solution is infeasible because the Jewish people would be outnumbered and they would be slaughtered if they were allowed to have a one state solution. Let me say this. After World War II, when Great Britain gave land that wasn't theirs to the European Jewish people, a one-state solution would have been possible then. If the one-state solution was a right to abode, if you're Jewish, if you can trace your heritage back to Israel, then you have the right to come live. Now, see, what they wanted was they wanted an apartheid state. They wanted European Jewish supremacy. They wanted a state that they could control and kick all of the brown Palestinian people out. That's what they really wanted. But if they would have came peacefully, because prior to the 1940s, prior to the creation of the Israeli state, Jewish people and Palestinians were living in that area that they call Israel, in that area that they call Palestine. They were living together in peace. Mind you, even in Iran today, there's a large Jewish population in Iran today, 2024. There are a lot of Jewish people peacefully, safely living in Iran. So they make this lie, the Jewish people were not safe anywhere in the world. Have you been to New York? Have you been to New York, US? There are places in this globe where Jewish people are completely safe. There's not a big hatred of Jewish people that prompted them, that forced them to kick and genocide the Palestinian people. They did that because of the racism within the European Jewish culture. That it is what it is. They wanted an apartheid state that they could control exclusively. If they would have come peacefully and just chose to live there in peace like everyone else, there would have been no problem. If they wanted the numbers, they could have slowly moved there and got their numbers up, just like the immigrants are doing here in America. All right, the immigrants are coming here to America doing the same thing. Think about how the population and the demographics are changing in Europe. The immigrants are going there and they're not saying, oh, we want an exclusive state and you white people got to get out of here, moving into Europe and trying to kick the white people out. No, they're moving there slowly, slowly, slowly. And before you know it, what do you see? You see the browning of Europe. You see the browning of America. All right. Now, the European Jewish people could have done that in Israel, in Palestine. They could have done that. They could have moved there peacefully and lived in peace and just got their numbers up peacefully. But no, they decided to have this apartheid, this racist, violent system. And it's not, just like the system of white supremacy, it's not sustainable. It is not sustainable. When you are the minority on this planet and you're surrounding yourself with enemies and provoking them to anger, this is not a sustainable solution. All right. So I'm glad you said that, Brendan. I had to go on the record and sort of address that a little bit. In war, dirty talking your enemy is allowed, and those men face no charges. For the record, hold on. I'm really glad you said that. For the record, I am glad. I retweeted the videos. I am really glad that in America we have freedom of speech. I am really glad that the two nice Jewish boys were able to spew their racism freely. I want them to be able to expose themselves. I want them to expose their racism, expose their violent, sadistic ideologies. I want them to say it loud and proud. See, back in the early 1900s, when the Ku Klux Klan was running rampant, they used to wear hoods. They used to wear hoods because they didn't want to be seen. They wanted to go to, they might lynch somebody on Sunday, lynch somebody on Saturday, burn a cross on Sunday, but then they want to go back to church. They want to go back to work on Monday. They want to go back and work in the bank. They want to go back and be a police officer. They want to go back and make horseshoes. They want to go back to work. They want to go back to work on Monday. So they would hide themselves under those white robes, under those white hoods. But see, I'm a free speech absolutist. So I'm glad that the two nice Jewish boys were able to spew their racism online with their faces shown. So when they go out to restaurants, people can say, hey, weren't you that dude? I like that. So round of applause. Round of applause. I'm happy. I am happy that they were able to openly spew their racism and their violent ideologies. I am so happy because I've lived in China. I've lived in other countries where freedom of speech is not so free, where speech is not so free. So I'm proud to be an American, or at least I know I'm free. I'm glad I'm over here where I can where I can use my mic and say what I want to say. And I'm glad they can say the same thing. I'm glad they can spew their racism. And I'm glad y'all can watch me spew my anti-racism. So yeah, I'm not trying to censor them. I don't want them to, you said in wars, dirty talk your enemy is allowed. Yeah, they shouldn't face any charges. They should not face any charges. They should not face any censorship. I am not pro-censorship. I'm a free speech absolutist. I'm glad they were able to say that. Hardly any or no Orthodox Jews was made a hostage. I can't confirm or deny that. I don't know. Israelis have right of way in this war so far. They're definitely winning on the scoreboard. If you're looking at the death toll, they offer Palestinian self-rule, and they used it to destroy Israel. Okay. DJ Khaled should do a tribute album to Black Queens to get the truth out. Yeah, hold your breath on that. Drake lost to Kendrick Lamar and got his praise to Black women card revoked. What? Oh, Drake lost to Kendrick, yeah, and got his praise to Black women card revoked. Yeah, I'm curious to see the next album that Drake drops. I want to see how he bounces back. We'll see. Kanye did it to himself. The Jewish doctor he complained about gave him a clean bill of health despite his mental health episodes. All of Kanye West's FBA bodyguards turned on him. Jewish lives lived under a tribute state to Palestinians and the Turks and the Ottoman Empire prior to the creation of the State of Israel. Palestine was able to crack the whip on the Jewish people through taxes. Palestine was not a country prior to the creation of the Israeli state. The Turkey had control of that land, so Palestinians were not taxing the Jewish people. The Palestinians and the Jewish people equally were under the rule of the Turkish government of Turkey. The Palestinians and the Palestinians and the Jewish people were not at war prior to the creation of the state of Israel. They were both under control by Turkey. The Palestine wasn't doing anything to them. Brandon Sophia, even Christians had to pay tribute to back then. That's true. There was a time when they had to pay tribute to. Well, I don't know what time frames you're talking about. If you're talking about it, when you mention Christians, I assume you're going back to biblical times. At that time, they were under the control of Rome, so yeah, they had to pay tribute. I think Christ even said, "Pay what to Caesar, what is Caesar's. Pay what to God, what is God's. Pay to God, what is God's." You know, I'm paraphrasing, but yeah. All right, so shout out to Brandon Sophia. There's a lot there. Let's get back into these clips. It's getting kind of late, so I'm going to wrap up soon, guys. I got 2 more clips I want to play you. Number 1, the reason why they're censoring people. You mentioned Kanye West. You asked, why isn't DJ Khaled speaking on this issue? And DJ Khaled is a hip hop head, right? They say Drake isn't mentioning anything, isn't talking too much about this issue. You see the way they took billionaire status from Kanye West, because Kanye West was calling out the Israeli, European, Jewish people. We see that the same thing that did to Kyrie Irving, basically kicking him out of New York for retweeting a documentary. Crazy. What? We see that anytime black people, anyone who has influence with black people, specifically foundational black Americans, speaks on this European Jewish cabal, we get censored, we get attacked. And this is why. Let me play this clip.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. Black Lives Matter starts there. I had last week a sit-down dinner at my house for 40 people, which are considered the leadership of the black community, and very important people. They can be part of our doing an activity.
Dr. Clarence B. Jones, who wrote the draft speech for Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream. He was his lawyer, he was his close friend. He's somebody that I reached out to. He became a very close and personal friend.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community.
So that is the Israeli consul. That is the Israeli consul stationed down in Atlanta, saying that the major issue, and I'm going to leave that on the board right there, the major problem with Israel is with the young generation of the black community. I want to leave that up for a second. I want to leave that on the board right there. This is the Israeli consul stationed in Atlanta, Georgia. They're having a forum talking about how the problem with Israel is not that Hamas is attacking them. It's not that Lebanon and Hezbollah is targeting Israel. The major problem, the biggest problem that Israel faces is with young black people. Why? Because we have the heart to speak out. We don't have a lot of power. We don't have a lot of money. We don't have a lot of lobbyists. But what we have is a voice. What we have is microphones. And we have a track record, a moral compass, and a track record of standing on business, standing on justice, fighting for justice. We have a track record spanning back for centuries without stop, without pause, without ceasing. We have generation on top of generation on top of generation of foundational Black Americans, specifically foundational Black American youth, standing on business and fighting for justice. Consequences be damned. We speak on it. So I got this microphone, and in the tradition of my ancestors, in the tradition of the legacy passed down for generations, I'm standing on business and I'm speaking up for justice, on behalf of justice, what's right and what's wrong. And that's what really scares the European Jewish people. All right. That's why they really want to keep us quiet. That's why they canceled TikTok, because they didn't want videos like this targeting the youth, specifically the Black youth. And that's them admitting it. And I got one more clip just to show you that I don't want people thinking that this is just a problem, a quote unquote Jewish problem. Because like I said, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You could say, some people who don't know the difference would say I'm Jewish, but I'm not standing for this satanic synagogue of Satan who says they are Jewish but do lie, and they are not but do lie. I'm not standing for the genocide and slaughter of these people. And there's a lot of other Black Jews, not Jewish people, but Black Jews who are being mistreated by the European Jewish people. So I want to play you this last clip in closing. I know we've been running a little long tonight, guys. I got one more clip for you, and we're gonna close out with this. Y'all check this last one out.
So I want to talk about one of the many racist practices that apartheid Israel commits. Now, I'm sure most of us have seen this, where there was multiple articles back in 2013 where it was discovered that Ethiopian Jewish women were being forcibly sterilized without their knowledge, without their consent. This article goes in to talk about how in 2023 this problem still persists. So since Ethiopian Jewish women have arrived in apartheid Israel, the reproduction rate of Ethiopian Jewish people have declined by nearly 50%. So apartheid Israel is forcibly sterilizing these women using Depo-Vera. Since its inception, it was planned as a drug designed for ethnic minorities. So this article was published in 2013. So the Ethiopian community of Jaffa have discovered that the practice still continues to this day. Just a reminder, apartheid Israel did admit to this practice. Racism is ingrained in settler colonialism.
All right. So that's why I gotta put the delineation there. I gotta put a dividing line. When we see a lot of this sadistic rhetoric coming from Israel, notice the complexion of the speaker. You don't see a lot of, and it's not like, because they like to hide behind, the Jews are white. No, sir. No, sir. They don't like to talk about the Ethiopian Jews. They don't like to talk about the Jews of Lagos, the Nigerian Jews. What? They don't like to talk about the Hebrew Israelites here in America. See, they want to have the face of Judaism be the synagogue of Satan, really. That's what they like to show. And while the synagogue of Satan might promote this genocide, there's a lot of people who aren't standing for it. And you see the way we're treated. You see the way we're treated. And you can't say, he's anti-Semitic, when I am Semitic. But it is what it is, guys. Okay, all right, we're going to close out here. But I got one more bonus footage for you guys. I was posting these, we were sponsored. The channel was sponsored with sickle cell PSAs. As y'all know, if anyone who's been following the channel knows, my brother died last year of sickle cell anemia. So this channel was sponsored by putting out sickle cell public service announcements, and this is one that has sort of gone under the radar. I aired it before, but there's been some confusion as far as it being aired. So I want, just for the record, to make sure that everyone has seen this. And we'll close out after this bonus footage.
Doc, I'm just not feeling this exercise plan you want me to do. What if I just sit this one out?
I understand, but did you know that a sedentary lifestyle is notably common among individuals with sickle cell? The problem is that lifestyles characterized by low levels of physical activity are linked to higher risk of heart disease and increased mortality rates.
Wow, I never knew that, Doc.
It's serious, it really is. And sedentary lifestyle contributes to increased blood viscosity. That's a condition that exacerbates the sickling process of red blood cells. But exercise promotes better circulation and plays a critical role in reducing blood viscosity, which in turn lowers the risk of crises.
That does sound serious, and I didn't know that, Doc. Count me in. What do we need to do?
Well, let's tailor a low to moderate impact exercise program just for you. Do you like aerobics?
Yes.
Do you like going for walks?
Yes.
When sickle cell patients do not exercise, they often experience decreased muscle strength, reduced bone density, increased risk of complications such as pain crises and organ damage. Also, poor overall physical and mental health. Regular exercise is important for managing symptoms and improving quality of life for all, but especially for the sickle cell community.
Boom! All right, guys, so that's going to be it for tonight's video. We're closing out now. If you've made it this far in the video, before we go, I got a couple more comments from Brandon Sophia I got to read before we close out. Y'all know I read all my comments. Brandon Sophia says in closing, when will Black Americans heed the advice of their past greats? Many of us are, and those of us who are doing our best to wake up those who are not. That's the best answer I got for you. Black people choose them over themselves, and it shows that black love has flaws. Well, nobody's perfect. I don't know what that was in reference to, but nobody's perfect. Black people must admit, like this man in this video, they need help with their predicament from non-blacks, and many Jewish people came to their aid. I don't know who was admitting that, but all right. Shout out to you, Brandon. I appreciate you rocking with me in today's video. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button on your way out. And anyone who has not already, be sure to smash the subscribe button. More content just like this. Trying to drop lives, give you content that provokes thought. I'm trying to provoke thought. I'm dropping content that provokes thought. Be sure to subscribe. Come on back for more if you enjoyed tonight's conversation. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan. Now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. I ran up all these bands up and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan. Now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. It ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up. It ain't no stopping me. I was broke, came up with a plan. Now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up. It ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came